do you think, Stan? You jealous? Alright everybody, now this has been an episode people have been asking about for a while, ever since my cheap bike episode 2. This is cheap bike episode 3. I've just driven down from Glasgow to here in Preston, which is where Tartybikes is based. And I'm going to get in there now because it is raining, I'm getting wet. So let's take a look inside Tartybikes. Got a nice welcome area here. Now, do have a button to press if you want to get some attention, but I've got some sneaky special access to that. So let's take a look in. This is the main office. Let's see who's inside. Aha, here we are. This is Tartybikes, and this is the man the place is named after.
Hello.
Adam.
How's it going, Al? You good?
Not so bad yourself?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks. Pretty good.
Probably should tell people, why is this place called Tartybikes? Go on, we need to know.
Because I had the nickname of the Tart, because I had a tarty bike with all pimp stuff on it. That was it, basically.
Yeah, and it's stuck ever since.
It's stuck. People still, you know, you get like a random company ring up and try and sell you electric or something, and they go, oh, the name's a good name, sort of thing.
Yeah. Anyway, this is obviously the office area. We've got the workshop here. We've got Cap. If you get a bike or anything that involves any work doing, Cap is your man. He will build it for you. Highly skilled, and he's an alright guy as well. Here we have Stan. How's it going, Stan?
I'm good, thanks.
Now, everyone here does answer phones, but Stan, I think you're most likely to be answering the phone, aren't you?
Probably, yeah.
He's been here pretty much ever since the start,
Yeah.
and yeah, still here. It's great to see.
Yeah.
It's memories. I asked you guys, what colour should I paint the frame? Because I didn't need to get it painted, but just for my own pimpness, I wanted to have a nice, fresh-looking bike. Thank you very much to Isaac, who suggested fluorescent pink as a colour. I think he kind of meant it as a bit of a joke, didn't really think it was gonna take off, but yeah, 265 upvotes. That was the most voted colour, and that's what I got. Okay, to be fair guys, it's not fluoro pink. I did try to get this fluoro pink, but the painter I went to suggested that fluoro pink wasn't gonna be super durable. It was gonna actually be quite a few layers, and with this frame gonna be essentially bashed against rocks. We went for a slightly different colour, just to be a bit more durable, longer lasting, but I'm actually really quite stoked with this colour. So I think it's going to stand out really nicely in comps. You're going to see this thing from a mile off. So what's the plan?
Just chase the brake mounts out, make sure there's no bits of sort of shot from where they blasted it to get the surface finish for keying in the powder coat. I'm going to run a tap through the BB shell. There's a bit of paint running the threads there. Yep. Face that off so the BB seat's nice and smooth. Same with the head tube as well. There's a little bit of paint run over the edges and stuff, and it's a bit rough. So face and ream that so the headset goes in nice and smooth, and then it should be good to go.
Cool. I used to love doing this bit.
It's really nice to get like a satisfyingly smooth surface. It's like a CD when it's finished, isn't it? It's really cool.
Okay, so the bike frame is prepped. I've got my bag of bits here, the parts it came with, and there are some bits I'm going to reuse, there's some bits I'm going to upgrade, replace for safety reasons, and so on. One thing I'm going to keep, despite its age, is the headset. It's a real old Hope model. Looks like one of the very first ones they did, but you know what? It still works, so we're going to bang that in the frame and keep using it.
Yeah, perfectly good headset. It works still smooth. It's like amazing. I mean, there might even be a date stamp on it. 0804.
2004, right?
Yeah.
That's even older than the frame. Okay, so that's one old bearing done. The other thing is the bottom bracket. Now, this is an old bottom bracket. It has actually a Chartec one, so which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's still nice and smooth.
Impressed.
So may
That's good.
May as well keep using that, I think.
Yeah. Little tip for BB, you want plenty of grease on both the frame and the bottom bracket. I've had it in the past where I had a frame and I just screwed a BB in literally by hand. It went in smooth all the way by hand. Went to take it out again, and the two bits of metal picked up and it welded the BB in the frame, ruined the frame.
What do you think, Stan? You jealous? Now, while Adam is dealing with the bottom bracket, I did mention that Tartybikes is a mail order place. They actually do a worldwide delivery, and they've got a pretty cool thing over here showing some of the locations that people have ordered frames from. I want to know who's riding trials in Greenland, and also all the way over in the most extreme part of Russia I've ever seen. Who's riding trials over there? So yeah, no matter where you are in the world, guys, I'm sure Tartybikes can get you some parts or a bike.
Just in the bottom there's like 3 or 4 little bits of crud. Another little tip: if you're going to get a frame powder coated, it's probably worth leaving the BB in. We've had it in the past where frames have come through with a little bit of the shot and the grit left, either in the down tube and it drops into the BB shell, or in the threads. When you put a BB in, it just makes a big mess, basically. So I've had the BB in a couple of times in and out, and there's a little bit of damage to the threads. It's been chased through okay with the tool, but if you're going to get a frame done, just leave the BB in, much easier. And then when you pull the BB out, obviously this face will still be paintless as well.
Notice,
save you some work.
Obviously the bike came with some forks, but if these are the same age as the bike or headset, you know what, for safety reasons, I do want to change the forks. Alright, so because I'm getting a new part, it's time to venture out of the office. This is going to be like a bit like a kid in a candy shop here, so let's take a look and see some of this stock. So this is the more warehousey area. We've got a lot of bikes and just about everything you need to build a budget bike, a pimp bike, or anything in between. What have we got here? We've got pedals, we've got the sticker aisle, more pedals, we've got a lot of pedals going on. Handlebars, may have to come back to these at some point, and forks. This is what I'm after. Alright, I think this is the one we need. Alright. Very good. Black and pink. We're onto something here. Black and pink's nice.
Looking good.
I'm liking that.
So I guess it's quite, we need to select a stem before we start cutting the steer tube down, don't we?
Riding the bike in the last video, I didn't really like them, so we're going to try and upgrade it. I'm going to go with something a little bit more modern.
Stem wise, the one that's on there now is about 130mm length, so it gives you an idea. It looks a bit weird compared to a mountain bike. Obviously your hex probably wouldn't like a 90 or something like that, 80.
Yeah, 90mm I think.
There are lots of like stem calculators online.
Yeah.
We send people to links to them in emails and stuff. Basically, it imagines you've got a head angle on the bike. You say how many spaces you've got. You say the length of the stem, which is measured centre to centre here. You say the angle of the stem, which is the difference between the flat and the angle of the stem. And then it says this stem is 115mm long and the rise is 120mm. You put in a second stem and then it says your new stem will be X millimetres longer and X millimetres lower. So you can use that little stem comparison chart as a good tool to decide where to go on the stem length.
I'll pop that in the description below, guys, if you want to check that out.
So that obviously offers a bit more length and a bit less rise, as we mentioned. We'll probably put the rise into the bars, and the other advantage of doing that is if you're doing some quite extreme moves, you can actually hit your chest on the top of the stem clamp.
I used to do that.
Yeah. So with a lower stem and a bar that comes up, you've got the space in between the ends of the bars to get your chest in there. Right, so we've got the old bar and stem here, still put together, and we're looking at fitting some Jitsi bars. These are the 110, so the higher of the two. You can see that they actually raise your hands up at the ends quite significantly. That's probably 50, 60mm, maybe a bit more, which is quite a lot. So that's why I worry about going for a stem that was any higher, because you're going to end up putting the front end up quite a bit. The advantage of a riser bar, just loosen this off a little bit, you've got this adjustment rolling the bars backwards and forwards, so if you want to go longer, you've got longer.
Yeah.
If you want to go shorter, you've got shorter.
Because that's the thing a lot of comp riders I see do these days. They didn't do when I was doing comps, is they had their bars so tilted forwards, that practically upside down.
Yeah, some people seem to run this part of the bend like in line with the stem like that, and you can see how much extra length it gives.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And these aren't that high bar, that people do a higher rise bar, which run in this position is even longer.
Yeah.
But that makes the bike have such a long cockpit, so on the back wheel it's really, really stable. So like stick, say 20 to 10 or 20mm on top, cut that to fit, and then you've got the option to play about if you want to. I think that's a good idea.
This is an upgrade since I worked here. Last time I worked here, it was all done on hacksaws, so yeah, definitely some upgrades since I left.
Yeah, it's much easier.
That's cool.
Yeah, a little gadget that does both both the outside and the inside of the steer tube, so you haven't got any sharp bits. That's quite nifty. Moment of truth. Hopefully it's not too short. Found you a little upgrade, Ali. I've got a little titanium bolt out of our spares drawer here for your top cap.
I'm getting treated. Oh, you can go for the Tartybikes spacers as well.
Carbon.
Extra weight saving carbon spacers. Nice. What we're thinking next?
Rear brake. Important bit of the bike.
Yep. So I'm sticking with the brake that came with the bike because it's a Magura. It's actually from a 2005 model, which is one of the better levers they did in my personal opinion. Back in the day, we used to do a few things to these to make them a little bit better.
Just checking it out, yeah.
I think you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So one thing these brakes used to do, because of the design, is actually quite a sharp corner here, which means when we're riding trials, we actually put side-to-side forces on the lever and they can crack.
Yeah, there's a little tiny start of the hairline right in the bottom of that corner there. If you cut across there from the flat portion here to that corner, it prevents that bit from cracking off basically, and then the lever will last pretty much forever. I mean, this is 15 years old, we've seen them 20, 25 years old before, and they're still working, so yeah. So
that's the first thing we're going to do, is cut away to make the lever, get rid of a stress riser essentially.
Yep.
Second thing, to make my hands have a much easier life, is change the fluid in this. If it's okay
yeah, we can do that, definitely.
So Maguras, the hydraulic brake, they're full of oil.
That's
Magura mineral fluid. That is quite a viscous fluid. So
the speed that the piston comes back is fairly slow.
Yeah. So this is a new thing since when I rode trials. We used to just have to fill our brakes with water, but not anymore. So we've got Tratec do a safer version for brakes, I guess. So yeah, obviously water in a hydraulic system is not ideal. We used to do it anyway, but we had to, you know, maintain our brakes more than usual. And also the brakes used to freeze in winter, which is the most crazy thing you've ever felt if you've never had Maguras freeze on you before. So actually that's pretty cool that we've now got options that means don't have any of these issues. So yeah, let's change the fluid in the brake, make it a lot easier for my hands in the competitions.
I'm going to use an angle grinder to do this. What I've done is stuffed a bit of paper in the cylinder bore so that you can then pull the paper out and it clears any swarf out. The key is just to get rid of that bottom corner down there without making a mess of the rest of the brake levers.
That's what it looks like before, guys. And that's what it looks like afterwards. Nice.
Want the truth? That feels better. Hopefully now, as soon as we pull the lever, we should get some movement at the slave cylinder. There we go. And hopefully, compared to earlier on, the speed is much quicker, yeah.
And that will help reduce the amount of effort needed to pull the lever, so hopefully my arms will last longer. Hopefully. By the way, my finger, I'm not sure you can see that mark right there, got focus. That's where I got my blister from riding this bike last month, and it's only just kind of healed, so yeah, I need to wear gloves next time, I think.
So another little common thing you find on, especially on second-hand bikes, when you tighten in the brake clamps down onto the frame, the underside of the bolt head kind of mashes the material around the slot. Hopefully you can see that. So when you're trying to put the bolt in, it actually doesn't want to go in. So if you can imagine you're trying to slide the brake up and down to adjust the height, it's a right pain in the bum. So you can literally just run a file through them and open them out to the original size, and that repairs them as good as new rather than having to change them. Doesn't take much, just enough to let the bolt drop in and slide up and down easily.